If your life is falling apart right now, if people are leaving and doors are closing, don't skip this video. What you think is the end is actually the most powerful sign that abundance is about to enter your life, and I'll prove it to you. It all begins with silence, a void. The phone stops ringing, opportunities evaporate, and you feel completely abandoned by the universe. Your mind screams, "What did I do wrong?" And the truth is, you did nothing wrong. You are receiving the first and most shocking message from Thoth. This isn't a punishment. It's a controlled demolition. The universe is stripping away everything temporary in your life to make room for what's permanent. Every loss you're suffering now is actually an act of cosmic mercy protecting you from a future that would imprison you. Stay with me until the end, because I'm not only going to show you the 15 signs that prove wealth is on the way, but I'm also going to reveal to you why this painful phase is the guarantee that what's coming to you isn't temporary, but rather the life you always deserved. If you feel like you are in this process, comment below. I am ready to receive. At the exact moment the silence becomes unbearable, your mind screams, "I'm losing everything." This voice isn't yours. It's the echo of scarcity programming, the lie you've been taught your entire life. Believing this panic is the last and most powerful illusion separating you from freedom. You're not being punished. You're being purified by fire. Every closed door, every person who walks away, is the universe's chisel breaking away what is non-essential in you. The pain you feel is the burning of the bonds that kept your vibration low. Thoth's true alchemy doesn't turn metal into gold, but rather your deepest fear into unshakable confidence. You're not losing, you're being refined. The emptiness that haunts you now is proof that your call for a greater life has been heard. The universe responded by initiating a controlled demolition of your present. Your future self, already living in abundance, triggered this process. To build a skyscraper, you must first demolish the old structure. You stand amidst the dust, staring at the rubble. This purification is lonely for a reason. You need to learn to be your own pillar. External validation, applause, and support have been removed so you can find your inner strength, your spiritual sovereignty. The universe is forcing you to connect with your own source of power, instead of relying on external sources that can be cut off at any moment. You're not being abandoned. You're being relocated from a state of survival to one of creation. Every tear you shed now is actually watering the soil for what's about to be born. Pain is merely the catalyst that forces you to let go of old tools and beliefs. But what exactly is being built in place of all this destruction? The demolition ends and the dust settles, revealing nothingness. You arrive at 0 point, the absolute void where there is nothing left to lose. The past has gone up in smoke, and the future is a blank canvas. This state of total suspension, which the mind so fears, is actually the cosmic womb, the most fertile soil in the universe, where nothingness precedes the creation of everything. It is in this profound silence that Thoth's message is finally delivered. Not with words, but like a software update in your soul. The most powerful sign that abundance is imminent is not external, like money or luck. It is a radical internal shift. You develop a growing and absolute inability to tolerate what is false. Suddenly, empty conversations, false friendships, and inauthentic environments become physically unbearable. You develop a spiritual lie detector, an allergy to anything that isn't genuine. Falsehood, once tolerated, now sounds like irritating static, a noise that disturbs your newfound peace. This isn't a whim, it's a symptom. It's proof that a new operating system is being installed in your consciousness. Thoth is deleting your old files of scarcity and self-sabotage and installing the program of truth and sovereignty. Your system is being recalibrated to a much higher and purer frequency. This new vibration is incompatible with lies. Everything false is naturally being rejected by your energy field, like a body expelling a virus. You are becoming a tuning fork tuned to the truth of the universe, and this ensures that you will no longer settle for imitations. And this new frequency of authenticity has very specific requirements. This new frequency vibrating within you no longer tolerates imbalance, and that's why the abundance that's approaching has nothing to do with luck or chance. It's not a cosmic lottery prize that might fall into your lap by accident. It's the inevitable consequence, the mathematical answer to a universal law called Ma'at. This is the Egyptian principle of order, truth, balance, and justice. Thoth, as the voice of creation, isn't giving you a gift. He's simply announcing that the scales of your life, which have been out of balance for so long, have finally found their center. And the proof that you've achieved this inner balance is subtle, but absolutely unmistakable. You start saying no. But it's not the reactive no, laden with anger, guilt, or resentment. It's a different kind of no. It's a no that comes from a place of deep peace, of unshakable calm. It's a serene, firm no, said not to offend others, but to honor yourself. You simply stop overgiving. Stop saying yes when your body and soul are screaming no. You stop trying to please everyone all the time. You decline that invitation to an event you don't want to attend without having to make elaborate excuses. You decline that extra project at work that would rob you of peace, even if the money was good. You politely but firmly end conversations that drain your energy. You set clear boundaries with friends and family who previously crossed all your boundaries. And each time you do this, you don't feel guilty. You feel empowered. A quiet, peaceful power that comes from self-respect. This isn't an act of selfishness. It's an act of energetic sovereignty. You finally understand that your energy is your most valuable resource, and that you can no longer distribute it indiscriminately to people and situations that don't deserve it. Every no you say to what no longer serves you, to what isn't aligned with your new truth, is a gigantic yes that echoes throughout the universe. It's a clear sign, a declaration that you are ready to receive what is yours by divine right, and you will accept nothing less. By restoring order within yourself, by putting your own needs and peace first, you activate justice on the outside. The law of Ma'at is activated. The universe, which operates on the basis of balance, realizes that you have stopped creating an energetic deficit in your own life. You have stopped giving more than you receive. And since nature abhors a vacuum, the universe begins to move to fill this space you have created, flooding your life with the energy, resources, and opportunities that correspond to your new state of balance. You become a channel for cosmic justice. People who took advantage of you begin to naturally back away because your new frequency of self-respect is uncomfortable for them. Unbalanced situations begin to resolve themselves, as if an invisible hand were cleaning up the mess. You stop fighting for justice and realize that, as you become just with yourself, justice manifests all around you. You no longer need to demand respect, because your own energy now silently commands it. This new inner order, this ability to honor your own limits, fundamentally changes the way the world interacts with you. You stop being an easy target for profiteers and become a force field of personal sovereignty. People begin to treat you differently, not because you've changed externally, but because your energetic signature has altered. They sense, on a subconscious level, that you're no longer the same person. But how exactly does this new inner order and this new perception of the world transform your power to create reality? And it's at this point, when internal order begins to establish itself, that something truly extraordinary happens. that desperate need for external validation, that hunger for applause, for a like on social media, for someone to tell you you're on the right path, simply evaporates. The opinions of others, which were once your barometer, now become just irrelevant background noise. You stop looking for answers outside because you begin to feel them welling up from within. The relentless search for approval comes to an end. You become the silent observer of your own life. Imagine sitting in a dark, comfortable movie theater, watching a film about yourself. You see the scenes unfold on the screen, the emotions, the challenges, the joys. But now, you no longer identify with the main character. You are no longer sucked into the drama, no longer panicked by the suspenseful scenes. You watch with a curious calm, with a serene detachment, knowing that you are not the film, but rather the consciousness watching the film. This is the awakening of the inner scribe. This is the power of Thoth manifesting directly through you. Thoth, the scribe of the gods, the one who records reality, hands you the pen. The ancient wisdom he holds begins to flow into your consciousness, and you finally understand the deeper truth about prosperity. It was never about accumulating things, having more money in the bank, or more material possessions. True prosperity is a state of perfect alignment with who you truly are. It is the freedom to be authentically you, unapologetically, and without needing anyone's permission. You realize that true power doesn't lie in forcing events, fighting reality, or trying to control the external world. True power lies in clarity, in the clarity of knowing who you are, what you want, and what you can no longer tolerate. With this clarity, you finally pick up the pen of your life. You stop allowing others to write your story, society to dictate your script, your past to define your next chapters. You become the author, the director, and the protagonist of your own journey. From this moment on, you begin to consciously write your own story, no longer from a place of fear or lack, but from a place of power and clarity. You begin to make decisions that align with your soul, even if your logical mind doesn't understand them. You follow your intuition, that silent voice that has always been there, but was drowned out by the noise of the world. You begin to create your life, instead of just reacting to it. You stop being a leaf in the wind and become the wind itself. This shift in attitude is felt by the universe. When you take ownership of your life, the cosmos stops treating you like a supporting character and promotes you to the main character. Synchronicities increase, the right doors begin to open, the right people appear. Not by magic, but because you are now sending a clear and coherent signal about what you want to create. You are no longer sending mixed signals, wanting one thing but feeling another, saying one thing but doing another. Your energy becomes a focused laser, and what you choose to write from now on determines not only the quality of your life, but the speed at which abundance manifests. Every thought, every word, every action becomes a stroke of the scribe's pen. You understand that you are not just living life, you are writing it in real time. And with this power comes a great responsibility. The responsibility to write a story worthy of your soul. But how does this new authorship translate into the energy you emanate to the world? How does it create the magnetic pull for miracles? Now we come to the most subtle, yet most powerful and undeniable sign of all. It's not something you see, it's something you become. Your energy, your vibrational signature, changes completely. The old vibration of neediness, that energy of someone who needs, who asks, who pursues, simply dissolves. It is replaced by a calm, centered, and magnetic vibration. The energy of someone who no longer pursues, but who attracts. The energy of someone who allows, rather than forces. The change is so profound that those around you feel it, even without understanding why. You stop praying, begging, like a spiritual beggar begging for scraps from the universe. Your prayers transform. They cease to be desperate pleas and become declarations of anticipated gratitude. You stop wanting abundance and begin to simply know that it is already yours by divine right. It's not forced positive thinking. It's not arrogance. It's a silent certainty, a profound peace that settles in the center of your chest and radiates outward. It's the end of doubt. It's the end of hope, which is doubt in disguise. You enter the state of knowing. You trust, with a confidence that transcends logic and the evidence of the physical world, that everything destined for you is already moving toward you. Imagine a massive ship sailing the high seas, on a precise route to reach its port. You don't see the ship, you don't hear its engines, but you know it's coming. You trust the route, you trust the captain, you trust the laws of navigation. This is your new attitude toward life. You trust the flow of the universe, knowing it's bringing you exactly what you need, at the perfect time. This silent certainty is the most powerful magnet there is. It reconfigures the entire energy field around you without you having to make a single effort. The struggle ceases completely. You stop trying to manipulate reality, stop trying to control people, stop stressing about the how and when. You let go of the oars and allow the river of life to carry you. And in doing so, you discover that the river always knew the way. Your resistance was the only thing creating the whirlpools and rapids. The energy of permission is magnetic. While the energy of pursuit repels, the energy of permission attracts. When you stop chasing the butterfly, it lands gently on your shoulder. The universe works the same way. When you stop chasing abundance, love, and peace, and simply become an open and receptive space for them, they come to you. You become the safe harbor where the ships of prosperity long to dock. Your calmness becomes your greatest power of attraction. People start telling you you're lucky, but you know it's not luck, it's physics. It's the law of resonance in action. Your new frequency, the frequency of certainty and permission, can only attract experiences and people that vibrate in the same way. Chaos, drama, scarcity, all of it begins to seem distant, like a memory from another life, because they simply can no longer find a matching frequency within you to connect with. You become immune to what doesn't vibrate in your new reality. And when the struggle finally ends, when you settle into this state of serene certainty, something magical happens. You finally gain the clarity needed to look back at your past, at all the losses and failures, and see the hidden truth behind it all. You finally understand the reason for all the pain, all the emptiness. The missing piece of your life's puzzle is about to be revealed, and the picture it forms will take your breath away. Now, with your mind finally quiet and your soul at peace, you allow yourself to look back, but this time, without the filter of pain, hurt, or victimization. And the vision that emerges is breathtaking. It's as if a veil has been lifted from your eyes. Thoth, as the god who rules the moon and illuminates what is hidden in darkness, hands you the final piece of the puzzle of your journey. And suddenly, everything makes sense. A meaning so profound and perfect that it fills you with overwhelming gratitude. You look back at those failures, those doors that slammed shut in your face, and realize the truth. They weren't losses. They were protective detours. The universe wasn't punishing you. It was saving you. Saving you from that seemingly perfect job that would crush your soul and trap you in a gilded cage. Saving you from that seemingly fairy tale relationship that would drain you, diminish you, and lead you away from your true path. Every dead end was a divine maneuver to force you onto the high road. Every person who left, leaving a trail of pain, is now seen in a new light. You realize they fulfilled their role. They were the catalysts, the teachers in disguise who pushed you toward your own evolution. They needed to leave so you could grow, so you could find the strength that existed within. Their departure wasn't an abandonment, it was a liberation. The universe was freeing you from connections that couldn't accompany you where you were going. Your new life required a new cycle. The clarity of this vision is the final, irrefutable proof. Your long wait, the months or years you spent in the desert, feeling lost and forgotten, were not in vain. It was not wasted time. It was a sacred gestation period. The void that so terrified you was not a hole. It was a womb, a sacred space where you were being nourished, strengthened, learned and prepared in secret. You were being rebuilt on a cellular level, on a soul level, to bear the magnitude of the blessing that was to come. You understand that if abundance had arrived sooner, you would have destroyed it. You weren't ready. Your scarcity mindset would have sabotaged prosperity. Your wounded heart would have repelled true love. Your lack of self-esteem would have made you feel unworthy of opportunities. The delay wasn't denial, it was preparation. The universe, in its infinite wisdom, waited until you were strong enough, healed enough, conscious enough to receive and, most importantly, to sustain abundance. And with this realization, the last drop of resentment for the past evaporates. You look at every challenge, every tear, every dark night of the soul, and can say, from the bottom of your heart, thank you. You honor every step of the journey, because now you see that each one was perfectly orchestrated to bring you precisely to this moment. Thoth's message has been fully delivered and decoded by your soul. The proof has been given, not in external signs, but in your own internal transformation. And this is where reality shifts. Abundance is no longer on its way. It's no longer a future promise. The moment this total clarity sets in, the moment gratitude for the process replaces fear, you realize the ultimate truth. Abundance has already arrived. It was waiting silently outside the door, waiting for you to be ready to open it. And this realization, this shift in consciousness, is the very key that turns the doorknob. The life you always knew you deserved is no longer about to be born. It has been born. Now that your eyes have been opened to the truth behind your losses, a completely new attitude emerges from deep within your soul. It's not arrogance, it's not pride, it's sovereignty. You finally understand that abundance was never a destination to be reached, a mountain to be climbed with sweat, blood, and tears. That was the old programming, the lie that kept you running on the rat race. The truth, now clear as day, is that abundance is a state of being. It's a frequency you tune into, like tuning into a radio station. You don't create the music, you just adjust your dial to hear it. The ultimate power, the secret that masters have tried to teach for millennia, reveals itself in its shocking simplicity. Power lies not in having, but in not needing. Think about it. While you desperately need something, your energy is one of lack, of absence. You vibrate an energetic black hole that, paradoxically, repels that which you desire most. But when you reach a state of inner peace where you no longer need that thing to feel complete, to feel happy, to feel at peace, your energy changes. You become whole. And a whole being doesn't attract, it radiates. And this radiance is what magnetically pulls everything to itself. By completely letting go of your obsessive attachment to how and when things will happen, you perform the greatest act of power a human being can accomplish. You regain control of your reality in a way your old, control-addicted mind never imagined possible. You stop being a frightened pawn on the board of fate, driven by external forces you don't understand. You stand up from your chair, look down at the board, and become the player. You no longer react to life's moves. You begin to make your own moves, moving the pieces with intention and clarity. Thoth's lesson here is one of the greatest paradoxes of existence, and understanding it is the key to mastery. The true freedom of needing nothing is what magnetically attracts everything essential to you. When you don't need anyone's validation, you become irresistibly charismatic. When you don't need money to feel secure, financial opportunities begin to pursue you. When you don't need a relationship to feel loved, true love appears. You become a center of gravity, and reality begins to orbit around you. This sovereignty is not indifference. You don't become cold or apathetic. On the contrary, you begin to love more deeply, work with more passion, and live with more intensity, because you no longer do these things out of fear of loss. You do them from the joy of creating, from the freedom to express who you are. You cease to be a slave to your circumstances and become the master of your experience. Your happiness no longer depends on what happens outside. It becomes an inexhaustible source that flows from within. This shift isn't just philosophical, it's practical. You stop checking your phone every 5 minutes, waiting for that message. You stop anxiously updating your bank statement. You stop worrying about what others think of you. You simply trust. You trust your own energy, trust the flow of the universe, and focus on living in the only moment that truly exists, the now. You become present. And this presence is the field where miracles are planted and harvested with astonishing ease. This new posture of spiritual royalty is the culmination of your purification process. You are no longer a beggar at life's banquet. You are the host. You don't ask for a place at the table. You understand that the table has always been yours. You are the heir to a kingdom that has always belonged to you, but you had forgotten your lineage. Now, you reclaim your throne. But how does this internal coronation, this shift from servant to sovereign, begin to manifest concretely in your daily life, in your body, and in your routine? And the first manifestation of this sovereignty doesn't happen in your bank account. It happens in your body. The transformation becomes physical, undeniable. You start waking up differently. Remember that morning anxiety, that weight on your chest, that cloud of worry that greeted you before you even opened your eyes? It's simply gone. You wake up and, for a few seconds, you might even find its absence strange. In its place is a calm anticipation, a feeling of lightness, as if an invisible, heavy burden had been permanently lifted from your shoulders overnight. This is the first tangible gift of abundance, and it doesn't come in the form of a check, but in the form of peace, a deep, stable peace that doesn't depend on anything external to exist. It's the silent confirmation of the universe, a whisper in your heart that says, finally, it's ready. It's ready to receive without falling apart. Because the universe knows that giving you wealth without giving you peace would be a curse, not a blessing. You just become another rich and miserable person, anxious about the possibility of losing everything at any moment. This inner peace isn't just a pleasant feeling. It's the foundation. It's the concrete foundation upon which the entire skyscraper of your new life will be built. Without this solid foundation of peace, any prosperity would be temporary and chaotic, like building a castle on sand. The first wave of hardship would bring everything down. But with this peace as your foundation, you become unshakable. Life storms may come, the winds may blow, but your inner structure remains firm because it is no longer anchored in circumstances, but in your connection to the whole. You start smiling more, for no apparent reason. You walk down the street and notice the colors of the flowers, the sounds of the birds, things that previously went unnoticed in your anxious rush. The world hasn't changed, but you have. Your senses are sharper because your mind is no longer hijacked by the loop of past and future worries. You are here now, and in the now, you discover that there is almost never a real problem. Problems live in the past, which no longer exists, and in the future, which has not yet arrived. In the present, there is only life. This lightness is reflected in your health. Chronic pain begins to diminish. Your sleep quality improves dramatically. Your digestion works better. Your body, which for so long has been in a constant state of alert, fighting imaginary threats created by your mind, finally relaxes. It understands that the war is over. The parasympathetic nervous system is activated, and a profound process of healing and regeneration begins to take place at a cellular level. Without you having to do anything, just be that peace. People around you notice the change. They may not know how to explain it, but they comment. You look different. Your energy is so good. What are you doing? You become an oasis of calm in a world of chaos. Your presence becomes healing for others, not because you say the right things, but because you emanate a frequency of peace that calms the nervous systems of those around you. You become the medicine you yourself needed, and in doing so, you heal the world around you. And this peace, this calm expectation, is not a passive state. It is a state of active power. It is from this serenity that the best ideas emerge. It is in this silence that your intuition speaks loudest. It is in this state of relaxation that you become an open channel for creativity and ingenious solutions. This peace is not the end of the journey. It is the starting point for true creation. And it is this same peace that connects you directly to a source of power and resources you never knew existed within your reach. With your mind finally serene and your heart at peace, you begin to feel something new, something that was always there, but that the noise of your anxiety prevented you from perceiving. You feel a direct connection, like an invisible thread, with the source of all that exists. Hermetic teachings and the oldest wisdom traditions call this infinite substance, the universal mind, the quantum field. It is the invisible, intelligent, and amorphous raw material from which all the visible wealth in the world is formed. Money, houses, cars, opportunities, everything is simply this substance shaped by a thought. You realize, with a profound insight, that this source never, ever runs dry. It is infinite, omnipresent, and always available to everyone, all the time. The only thing limiting your access to it was your own belief in limitation. You were trying to fill a glass of water from the ocean, not realizing that the glass itself was made of water. Separation was the illusion. Now, you understand that this source does not respond to your desperate effort, your struggle, or your hard work. It responds to one thing only: your conscience, your faith, and your quiet certainty. Your consciousness becomes the faucet, and abundance the water that flows from it. Before THOTH'S, you looked to your external circumstances as the source of your wealth. You believed money came from your boss, your client, the government. You were looking at the channels, not the source. Now, your perspective shifts. You stop looking at your bank account, your job, or the economy to determine your level of security. You turn inward and connect directly with the real, infinite, and inexhaustible source that flows from the center of your own being. Abundance ceases to be something that happens to you, like an external, random event. It becomes something that flows through you. You become a channel, a conduit for the wealth of the universe to manifest on the material plane. You understand that your only job is to keep the channel clean and open. And how do you do this? By keeping your vibration high, by maintaining a state of peace, joy, gratitude, and love. The cleaner your channel, the faster and more abundant the flow. Scarcity is simply a channel clogged by fear, doubt, and negativity. This connection changes your relationship with money. You stop seeing it as a master to be served and start seeing it as a tool, an energy exchange that flows to you and through you to bless your life and the lives of others. The fear of spending disappears because you know the source is infinite. It is replaced by conscious circulation. You spend joyfully, knowing more will come. You give generously, knowing that by making space, more flow is created. You become a master of the energy of wealth, no longer a slave to it. You start to have ideas worth millions, solutions to problems no one has seen before. Opportunities begin to appear from unexpected places. People offer you help, partnerships, and resources, without you even having to ask. This happens because, by connecting with the universal mind, you gain access to an intelligence far greater than your own. You are no longer operating solely with your limited, logical mind. You are co-creating with the infinite intelligence that orchestrates the worlds. You become a partner with the universe. And you realize that this flow of creative and abundant energy isn't just healing your present and future life. It's so powerful that it travels through time. It reaches back into your past and begins to rewrite your story, healing old wounds and reframing traumas. More than that, it travels through your DNA, through your lineage, and begins to heal not only your story, but the story of your entire family. Your journey of awakening reveals itself to be something much greater than you imagined. Did you think this journey was just about you? About having a better, more prosperous, and happier life? That was just the beginning. Now you understand the true magnitude of what's happening. Every step you take toward your own abundance, every belief of scarcity you transmute, every fear you overcome, sends shockwaves of healing through your lineage, both past and future. You're not just healing yourself, you're healing your entire family tree. Think about the beliefs about money and life that have been passed down through generations in your family. Money is dirty. Life is a struggle. Rich people don't get into heaven. You have to work hard and suffer to have something. These aren't just popular sayings. They are programs, energetic contracts your ancestors made, based on their own experiences of hardship, war, and loss. And these programs have been passed down to you through your DNA, your upbringing, and your family's energy. They have been operating in your subconscious, sabotaging your success without you even knowing it. Now, by aligning yourself with prosperity, by choosing a new truth, you become the turning point. You are the family member who says, "Enough is enough. This contract ends here. From me, a new story will be written." You become the ancestor of the future, the one who consciously decides to break the cycle of poverty, struggle, and suffering. You are literally rewriting your lineage's financial and emotional contract. You are breaking the invisible chains that have imprisoned your family for generations. Imagine your great-grandparents, your grandparents, your parents. Imagine the energy of all their struggles, fears, and worries. Now imagine your light, your new awareness of abundance, flowing backward in time like a golden balm, healing these energetic wounds. You don't change the events that happened, but you change the energy associated with them. You free your ancestors from the weight of their own traumas, and in doing so, you free yourself as well. It is an act of profound service, a gift of love that transcends time and space. And healing doesn't just go backward, it goes forward. You are clearing the way for your future generations. Your children, your grandchildren, they will be born into a different energetic timeline. One where abundance is the natural state, where prosperity is seen as a birthright, not a struggle. You are creating a new legacy, a new foundation upon which they can build even more expansive lives. Your personal journey unfolds as an act of unconditional love for your entire family, past, present, and future. You may even feel this shift. You may dream of your ancestors, feeling their gratitude. You may feel an inexplicable relief, as if a weight that wasn't yours has finally been lifted. You understand that your prosperity isn't selfish. On the contrary, it's the most generous act you can perform. By healing yourself, you offer healing to all who came before you and all who will come after. You become the bridge between a past of scarcity and a future of abundance. And it is at this point, when your personal mission aligns with such a grand purpose of service, that the outside world has no choice but to respond in a spectacular way. The universe, seeing that you have become a channel of healing and blessings not only for yourself but for many, decides to open the floodgates wide. Your internal transformation is now so powerful that external reality must completely rearrange itself to mirror it. And it does so in a magical and exhilarating way. And then, the game changes. With your inner frequency finally adjusted, the terrain of your soul cleared, and your connection to the source established, the universe begins to play with you. It starts sending you winks, little signs, and perfect coincidences that multiply so quickly and precisely that it becomes almost comical. It's as if the universe is patting you on the back and saying, "I see you. We're in this together. Keep going. You're on the right path." Communication becomes direct, clear, and undeniable. You think of someone you haven't spoken to in years, and 5 minutes later, they text or call you. You're unsure about what decision to make. Turn on the radio, and the lyrics of the song playing answer your question exactly. You need specific information for a project. Go to a bookstore, and a book simply falls off the shelf at your feet, opening to the exact page that contains the answer. You start seeing repeating numbers everywhere, like 1111, 2222, 444. At first, you might think it's just coincidence. Your logical mind, still tainted by its old programming, tries to find rational explanations. "Oh, that's just confirmation bias," it says. But the signs become so frequent, so specific, and so perfect that even your most skeptical mind has to surrender. You start chuckling to yourself, looking up at the sky and saying, "Okay, I get the joke. You're good at this." You realize there's no such thing as coincidence. There never was. It's all part of a perfectly choreographed cosmic dance. This is the language of synchronicity. It's the universe speaking directly to your new state of being, without intermediaries. Thoth's message, once silent, internal, and subtle, now becomes audible and visible in the very fabric of your reality. Each synchronicity is a confirmation, a little breadcrumb left on the trail to show you that you're in the flow. It's the divine GPS assuring you that you're not lost, but rather guided every step of the way. Even when you don't know what the next step is, you learn to relax into this flow of guidance. You stop worrying about the future, knowing that the answer you need will always arrive at the exact moment you need it. Not a second too soon, not a second too late. You begin to ask questions of the universe and observe the answers that arrive through license plates, conversations with strangers, images on the internet. Life becomes a magical, constant dialogue between you and the intelligence that surrounds you. You feel supported, guided, and deeply loved. These winks aren't just fun, they're training. The universe is teaching you to trust your intuition and pay attention to signs. It's showing you that guidance is everywhere. if you just have eyes to see and ears to hear. You develop an unshakable faith in the process, a confidence that no matter what happens, you'll always be taken care of. Fear of the unknown transforms into excited curiosity about what surprise the universe has in store for you next. And this intimate and constant collaboration with the cosmos, this dance of signs and responses, gently leads you to the final stage of transformation. Each synchronicity is a step closer to the materialization of your greatest dreams. The universe isn't just winking at you, it's paving the road ahead with gold, guiding you to a place where your old identity, based on struggle and effort, can no longer survive. A place where resistance becomes impossible. And then one day, you stop in the middle of what you're doing, and a realization hits you with the force of lightning but the gentleness of a feather. Suddenly, you realize the struggle is over. That constant effort, that tension in your shoulders, that feeling of always swimming against a strong, relentless tide has simply dissolved. You didn't even realize it when it happened, but the internal war you've waged your entire life, the battle against yourself and the world, has come to an end. And the silence that follows is the sweetest of victories. Abundance, once a distant destination, an oasis on the horizon you chased with your tongue out, now reveals itself as the very river you're floating on. You understand, at a cellular level, the ultimate truth of prosperity. It is, and always has been, the total absence of resistance. It wasn't about adding something to your life, but about removing the barriers you'd put up yourself. It was about stopping fighting, stopping pushing, stopping trying to control every detail with your small, anxious mind. By stopping fighting the current, you allow the infinite intelligence of the river of life to take you exactly where you need to be. And you discover, amazed, that the river has always known the way. It gently carries you to the banks where perfect opportunities await. It introduces you to the right people, the ones who hold the key to your next level. It deposits you in places where the resources you need are abundantly available. And all of this happens effortlessly, with a grace and ease your old mind would have considered impossible. This is the point of no return. Once you experience life from this state of flow and permission, you can't go back. The idea of going back to struggling, stressing, and worrying seems absurd, like an adult trying to squeeze back into their baby clothes. You no longer know how to live any other way. Permission becomes your new nature, your default state. You wake up in the morning and your first question is no longer, "What do I need to do today?" but rather, "Universe, what wonderful thing are we going to create today?" Resistance becomes a foreign concept. When a challenge appears, you no longer see it as a problem, but as an interesting detour in the river's course. You don't panic, you relax, trust the flow, and watch as the current guides you around the obstacle with an intelligence you don't possess. You learn the cosmic martial art of using the force of the universe to your advantage, rather than fighting against it. Life ceases to be a battle and becomes a dance. You realize that all your past suffering came from a single source, your resistance to what is. You wanted reality to be different than it was, and this struggle with reality was the cause of all your pain. Now, you practice radical acceptance. You accept the present moment exactly as it is, knowing that it is perfect and necessary for your path. And in this space of acceptance, you find a freedom that no external achievement could give you. You become free from within, and it is then, in this state of total surrender, of effortless flow and absence of struggle, that what is yours by divine right, that which has your name written in the stars, finally finds its way to you. Your non-resistance becomes the final invitation. The universe, seeing that you have finally stopped running and fighting, can finally deliver the gifts it has saved for you for so long. Materialization, which once seemed so difficult, now happens with astonishing naturalness. And things begin to arrive. But not like before. It's not a passing stroke of luck, a peak of euphoria followed by an even deeper trough of scarcity. It's not money that flows in and out at the same rate. It's not the relationship that begins with passion and ends in pain. What manifests now has a different quality. It's solid, it's stable, it's permanent. It's as if built on an unshakable rock rather than the shifting sand of your former consciousness. It bears the signature of eternity. It's the career that isn't just a job, but a calling, something that fills you with purpose and makes you feel alive every morning. It's the money that flows to you from multiple sources, consistently and steadily, giving you not only security, but the freedom to make choices based on desire, not necessity. It's the relationship that isn't based on need or dependence, but on a partnership of souls who support each other, expand, and celebrate the journey together. It's vibrant health, the energy that seems to have no end. The abundance entering your life now is the physical proof, the material and undeniable reflection of the person you have become. It didn't arrive because you pursued it more, worked harder, or used the correct manifestation technique. It arrived because you became a worthy recipient of it. You didn't earn it with effort. You allowed it with your surrender. You became the frequency of abundance, and therefore, abundance had no choice but to manifest around you. Your external reality has finally caught up with your internal reality. Your new consciousness, forged in the fire of purification, the silence of emptiness, and the peace of surrender, is the unshakable foundation upon which this new reality is built. And because it is built on this foundation, it cannot be taken from you. Economic fluctuations, the opinions of others, external circumstances, none of these can shake your new structure. Because your wealth is no longer in things, but in your connection to the source of all things. Your security is no longer in the world, but within you. You look at your new life and feel a deep sense of finality. It's not the hysterical excitement of winning the lottery. It's the calm, deep recognition of coming home. You look at your life, and it feels familiar, right? It's as if, deep in your soul, you always knew this was how it was meant to be. The life of struggle and scarcity was the nightmare, the anomaly. This, the life of flow, grace, and prosperity, is your natural state. Your birthright, finally claimed. You understand that the universe never wanted to deny you anything. It always wanted to give you everything. But it couldn't give you a kingdom while you still had the mentality of a beggar. It had to wait for you to heal, for you to remember your royalty, for you to learn to use your power wisely. The journey wasn't about convincing the universe to give you what you wanted. The journey was about transforming you into the person you were ready to receive. And with this arrival, with the materialization of the permanent, comes a new and final mandate, a new mission. The game isn't over, it's just changed levels. The universe has handed you the keys to the kingdom. Now, it wants to see what you'll do with them. It wants to see if you've learned the most important lesson of all, the lesson that ensures the flow not only remains, but expands into infinity. Thoth's message is complete. The cycle closes. You saw the sign in the deafening silence. You survived the demolition of your former self and crossed the desert of emptiness. You learned the language of synchronicity and mastered the art of non-resistance. And now, abundance is here, not as a promise, but as your lived reality. It's in your hands, in your home, in your heart, in your bank account. What was once a distant dream is now your new normal. But the journey doesn't end here. In fact, it has only truly begun. Your job, your mission, from this moment on, is no longer to ask, no longer to seek, no longer to fight or manifest. Your new and most important mission, the final mandate that seals your entire transformation process, is simply to honor receiving. It sounds easy, but it's the most crucial part. Many people get this far and fail because they don't know how to receive. Guilt, feelings of unworthiness, fear of loss, all of these can resurface and sabotage the flow if you're not vigilant. Honoring what you've received means allowing yourself to fully enjoy everything you've created. It's using the good money you have to live wonderful experiences, guilt-free. It's accepting a compliment with a simple and sincere thank you, without diminishing yourself. It's receiving love, help, and support with open arms, without feeling indebted. It's treating yourself with the same generosity the universe has treated you. It's understanding that you deserve every drop of the happiness and prosperity you're experiencing, not because you're special, but because you are an expression of the universe itself. Gratitude ceases to be a morning exercise or a manifestation technique. It becomes your natural breathing state. You wake up grateful, walk grateful, eat grateful, work grateful. Every moment becomes an opportunity to recognize the beauty and perfection of life's flow. And every thank you genuinely feel from the depths of your soul is not just a word. It's an energetic seal. It's an affirmation to the universe that says, I see, I receive, I appreciate, send more. Gratitude is what keeps the channel open and the flow expanding. You understand that the abundance you've received isn't just for you. You've become a channel, and the water must keep flowing. You become a distribution point for the universe's wealth. You bless others with your time, your wisdom, and your resources. You become generous, not out of obligation, but out of a natural overflow. Your cup is so full that it can't help but spill over and nourish everything around you. And the more you give from this place of fullness, the more the universe fills you. The law of circulation is activated at its maximum power. The cycle of emptying the cup in order to receive it full closes, and a new cycle, much more vast and magnificent, begins. A cycle where you are no longer learning to receive, but learning to create worlds. You become a conscious co-creator with the universe, a master manifester who plays with energy and matter for the pure joy of creating. You no longer need signs, because you have become the sign. You no longer need to go with the flow, because you have become the flow. The journey of emptying the chalice, which seemed so long and painful, is now seen for what it truly was. Just the first step, the prerequisite for the true journey, the journey of mastery. Thoth's message has been delivered, and now you are no longer the student deciphering it. You become the scribe yourself, pen in hand, ready to write the next glorious chapters of your infinite existence. The adventure has just begun. If you've made it this far, you're no longer the same person who started this video. Your soul has recognized the truth at every step. To let me know you've completed the journey, leave the following in the comments. The message has been received. Your presence until the end is already a huge help in helping this message reach more people. If you feel called to support this channel more directly, there's a contribution option in the first pinned comment. Any help is crucial to me and the growth of the channel, allowing me to continue sharing content like this. And if you can't, simply sharing this video with someone who needs to hear it is an act of immense generosity. But don't leave yet. Your journey today isn't over. I've put together a special video for you, a piece of content that's the logical next step after everything we've discovered here. It's designed to deepen and anchor this new awareness in your practical life. Click on the video that's currently showing on the screen. Let's continue this conversation. See you there.